Okay, so basically when I was 14 years old, I was living with my grandparents and we were kind of poor or whatever. So I remember this one man that would always come around. It was this white guy named Stephen Patton. He was like big in construction in the area. He was like building this small town with a population of 400. He was like building these big giant mansions and stuff like that. But every time he came around my grandfather, and let me tell you, they're old school. My grandparents are old school, but that does not excuse them from what they did to me. So every time he would come around my grandfather then would make me go over there and talk to this man, and I'm like really, really shy, and I don't want to talk to this man. He's a grown man. I just want to be a kid. I want to play in the dirt and climb trees and stuff like that. But,
as you should.
So they made a deal. The guy that was 20 years older than me, so he was like 34 years old, and I was like 14. And my grandparents, they made a deal with this man that this man was going to take me away and do whatever he was going to do with me, and I would live with him, and they would receive payments from him. So he was paying off their mortgage, their property taxes, and dust force, like all of that stuff. And I remember coming to my grandmother one day, like telling her all the horrible things that this man was making me do. I was sleeping in the bed with this man, he was having nasty time with me and everything, and I'm 14 years old. So she looks me in my eye and she's like, oh, it's for the best, you know, you're gonna
Recognize what that says. Ain't no fucking way. Ain't no fucking way. That's not a you can't find a neighborhood that's all FBA that's gonna let something like that rock. First off, I went to nosy. Sisters, I had gotta read the mail. Y'all way too nosy. Why that little girl over there with that man? Girl, you see that? Y'all cannot like each other. But y'all not gonna see that and not say nothing. I didn't talk to you. And we like, what I didn't do. That little girl be going with that grown man. At first, I'm like, oh shit. Hey man, yeah, my wife told me, all right. Clack, clack. And we have a night talk. A talk at night. And that is all. We not letting that ride. It's for the bet. What? I told y'all before. The lady next door on my granny. I'm gonna share I'm gonna try to remember to share the card for the video when I went to my old neighborhood when I was 25 years ago. The lady next door, I always try to think, why don't you come over? You should come over sometime. You should come over to our house. Come over to our house. I would always ask my granny, and she wouldn't let me. Now that I'm grown, I realize that woman's gonna try to molest me. She's gonna try to get me naked, start touching on me, have me touch on her. Let me see if I can. Cause see, her boy was sweeter than. Now that I look back, her boy was sweeter than berry meat. I recognize because he's my age, he's my size. I was skinny back then. I wasn't always fat. Come on now. And so we just playing. We were playing rough house and playing the tree. Now I think about it, I was like, yo, he was kind of. His wrist was a little tender wristed. And she was always trying to get me in the house. I'm like, because I'm a kid. Kids don't think like that. This idea, they're older, their bodies develop. I don't think like that. I'm thinking I'm gonna get over there and play with him. Okay, he probably got a PlayStation or something. What he didn't have PlayStation went out back then. This is way before PlayStation. I'm telling my age. He probably had Super Nintendo, something like that. Oh, okay, cool. That's my thought, and I honestly believe. Rest in peace to my grandmother, Juanita Faye Owens. That woman's gonna try to molest me, try to groom me. I believe that to this day. So I know this ain't our community. This ain't our neighborhood. This ain't our culture. And my grandmother was from Hay Pearl, Texas. That's some foreigner